Guilt, a self-inflicted emotion. Guilt is probably the most caustic and costly emotion that we can possibly feel. You know, we feel guilt when we think we've done something wrong. We feel guilt when we think we haven't done something we should. We feel guilt when we're doing well and somebody else is not doing as well. We feel guilt for so many different reasons. We have survivor guilt. We have sexual guilt. We have emotional guilt. We have social guilt. People make the case that there is toxic guilt and there's healthy guilt. But we're going to talk about toxic guilt, okay? Healthy guilt, I guess, allows you not to run naked down the street. You're too guilty and self-conscious to do that. But toxic guilt is about fear of punishment by God, by yourself, by society. It is a fear at the end of the day. And so how do you manage this guilt? How do you manage this guilt that you didn't do enough, or that you did something wrong, or people think you did something wrong? So I think first order of business, you've got to get factual about it. You've got to decide what's in my control and what's not in my control. You can even make a list of what you're guilty about and what's in control and what's not in control. The minute you start seeing that you didn't have any effect and couldn't have any effect on a situation, it mitigates a lot of that guilt. It will take a lot of it away. But this is all about, at the end of the day, self-forgiveness and self-acceptance. When you create a relationship with yourself where you're loving and forgiving and accepting of yourself, knowing that you're not perfect, but accepting that as perfect, then you're way ahead of the game. Then guilt is just going to be something that you need to manage and deal with. Make no mistake about it, you will feel guilt, but it's what you do next that matters. When you rationalize it, when you handle it, when you see objectively what the truth of it is. Now, I use the paradox process because it clears the emotional charge from that guilt. It will dispel it, it will eliminate it, and that's very powerful. But find a method, find a way to turn toward it instead of turning away. And look objectively at the truth of the situation and see how much effect you really have had. This is going to do a lot in terms of self-awareness, self-forgiveness, and self-acceptance. And really, at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. So don't let that guilt monster put you in a corner and stop you from loving yourself and doing the things that you want in life.